Thank you. Well, I'm very happy to introduce this important report from the Academy and to congratulate Alice Priddy and the whole team. The topic of people with disabilities in times of armed conflict has been ignored until now, and the stimulus for this, for us to look at it, was the Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities and the fact that it explicitly states that it applies in times of armed conflict. So the report looks at some of the older traditional rules that apply and reconsiders them from the point of view of people with disabilities. And I might just mention two rules that are maybe worth reflecting on. The first relates to the rule that you have to give warning. In other words, states or armed groups have to take precautions when attacking a military objective to ensure that there's minimal civilian damage. And in the past, not much thought has been given to what might happen if somebody with seeing impairment or hearing impairment is unable to know about these warnings. So tapping on the roof or distributing leaflets wouldn't necessarily help. And so there are sort of intelligent suggestions about communicating in Braille and other forms of communication, proper warnings so that people in wheelchairs, for example, would be able to evacuate a building. Other rules relate to the treatment of people in detention, and again, not much thought has been given to what would happen for a prisoner of war who is in a situation where he or she is unable to move around within the prisoner of war camp because of a wheelchair or some other impediment, and they're impediments created by the camp, and therefore that in those situations the rules might have to be reinterpreted and rethought so as to allow for repatriation and so on. So I won't go through the whole report. I would encourage you to read it, and again I congratulate Alice and all the groups and teams that she's been working with around the world for this very important report, which I hope will improve the rights of people with disability in times of armed conflict.